to the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital. It is this 7 minutes after the hour at 6 o'clock on this, the 27th day of October, the last Friday for the month of October for 2023. As we head down to the Christmas season, which is down to 59 days. Yep, 59 days. Thank you so much for joining us. Full casting this morning. Paul Richards, Richard Raghubar Singh, Wendell Stephen. We got Ruben. I'm Steve Khan. All right. Quickly, let's get into the WTs, see what's happening weather and traffic-wise. Nothing to tell you about in San Fernando. After Freeport is where you're going to pick up your traffic heading towards Sugar Gorners on the Solo. And then from Charlieville heading northbound, you got some volume there. Southern Main Road from Sugar Gorners in the vicinity of Chin Chin Road, before and after, you got some traffic heavier than usual in Kelly Village. Piarco to Yui, and then pretty much no problems heading into Port of Spain, just a little bit of volume. All right, nothing out to the west, but it's beginning to build a little bit out of Maraval. Okay, let's get into the WTs weather and check it out what's happening. I'm just checking my temps here. Right, that's the temps. Let's see if the Met Office has updated their weather forecast for today, Friday. Yay. All right. Yes, they have. They actually was just updated. Woo, look at that. Sunshine will likely be interrupted by a few partly cloudy intervals and showers over few areas, especially from late morning. There's a medium 40% chance of isolated thunderstorm activity. This evening will be generally settled apart from the odd isolated shower. Hazardous seas alert number 1, yellow level, is in effect. 25 degrees at Piarco International Airport, 27 at Crown Point in Tobago. Tobago hot this weekend. It's Carnival. Toronto, you're sitting at 15 and partly cloudy. Miami, 25 and mostly clear. Orlando, partly cloudy and 21. New York, cloudy and 16. Atlanta, 15. London, cloudy and 12. Tampa, 21, mostly clear. Washington, D.C., 16 degrees and cloudy. And Los Angeles, you're 14 degrees. All right, that's some temps across our listenership. So let's see who sent us hellos first thing this morning via YouTube or Facebook. Most of you are already coming from YouTube. Let's see. DJ Ray out in Delaware. Good morning to you. Oliver Man Warren says it's finally Friday. That's right. Wendy and James, Doreen Pierre, Friday. Yep. Carol Guevara will go on TGIF. Got Celia from Valencia, Marcia Rock. Good morning. Rena Bodu Jennings, Karen Yipnow, Edwin, Marshall, Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Happy Friday. Brenda, Isaac, Wayne, Joseph, good morning to you guys. Thank you so much for hitting us up a little hello this morning. We love it. All right. So let me throw it across to the guys. I say good morning to you all, gentlemen.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
I realize. I opened up this morning. I said, but Paul in a Christmassy mood. 59 days, Paul.
That would be Ruben.
Oh.
Yeah, I like this. Good morning, guys.
It's ham and
I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing.
Morning, Ruben.
It really does. It really has a Christmassy look.
And the Christmas graphics I have on my Christmas red. Yes, it's Christmas red.
I have on Christmas green. So it's just what was the other? Well, it's red and green. We got a little tinge of gold in there. And the stars.
I didn't get any memo. Anyway, morning to you, gentlemen. What's happening? I see the death toll on that shooting in the U.S. Has climbed to 18 this morning.
It was actually 22. That was an error.
Yeah, I see.
It's 22 now?
Yes, it was 22 for 2 days ago. So
yeah,
and they still haven't caught him yet. He's wow. That's so sad. I don't know.
And they like guns? Sad to say, but It will continue to happen until they amend their gun laws.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 500
Unfortunately.
plus mass shootings for 2023.
Unfortunately, it will continue happening until they amend their gun laws.
They need to do that for sure.
All you need is an ID card, you know. In some places, you need an ID card.
Yeah. Good morning to you, my good friend Patos. Good morning, Patos.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happening in the Republic? They're trying, well, we're at month end, so people have gotten their pay. Most people, I would presume.
You know, Paul, as you said that, I need to tell the various banks with the limited amount of ATMs we have in the country, could you all make sure there's money at the ATMs? I actually
why do you say there's a limited number of ATMs in the country?
Okay, so let me use Barataria for example. So south of the Eastern Main Road, there is one at Mova Junction. There is another one at Maritime that never has money. And that's it. I'm just using the Barataria area.
Well, I know what often happens here, because there was one, there were two on El Sikori Road by Scotia. There was one.
That closed down.
Yeah, because people mash it up.
Yeah.
And it costs the banks too much to maintain when people keep vandalizing it.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's not only, very often I see the many different banks are forced to close the ATMs because they keep being vandalized.
Yeah, because I had to get some money. So Maritime wasn't working. So I decided to go on the Eastern Main Road. No, I went to
Maritime always seems to be out of money for some reason.
Always out, because you know and if you go to
there's only one there was one at Mova Junction NP, but I don't know if it's still there.
I think it is.
Yeah.
The one in Fernandez compound, that never works.
That is not true. That is not true.
They're like 5 times.
You use these superlative terms, these absolute terms. You said never. I got money there last week, so it can't be never working.
Well, I went there 5 times. I counted it.
Well, say it never working when you went there.
It never working when I went there.
It worked last week when I went there.
I actually told 2 weeks ago a very senior manager at First Citizens that ATM is hardly working.
I have never gone there and it's not working. It may not have money sometimes, but it's never not working when I go there. I went just last week and it was working and I got money.
Probably because I buffed the manager and told him that ATM not working.
Wow, yes, because you buffed the manager.
Probably. I don't know. I'll take credit.
Because you buffed the manager, the manager.
No, but they need to have the limited amount of ATMs. You trying to tell me they can't service it often? What you have it there for? Sitting there doing nothing? But anyway, I went to the Quasi. 3 Republic Bank machines, none working. I said, okay, where's your next ATM, boy? I'll have to go on the Eastern Main Road. So I went to the Eastern Main Road. There's First Citizens, about 30 people line up there. I said, gosh, no, boy.
The Republic across the road?
Yeah, that had the same 30 people waiting again.
And there's the Royal Bank, they have one also?
You know, I didn't see the Royal Bank. I don't know if that branch is
there's 3 banks with, I believe, ATMs right there.
I went to Scotia Bank down the road, and
there's Scotia Bank not far from there also.
And that had 5 machines. So I lined up and I used my machine, and a lady.
So then what you complaining about?
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, they should put one everywhere you want to stop.
There's a limited amount of ATMs. The banks want you to do everything via online or the ATM. So if you go to pay your bills and there's one ATM, you know how long you have to wait? Because they're going to take a few minutes.
They have to put ATMs, or they should be putting ATMs in places that people can be safe. You can't put an ATM everywhere and then somebody is not safe in a corner somewhere.
You're not understanding what I'm saying, you know.
I am understanding what you're saying. I'm just disagreeing with you. No.
You need to come down to the ground of it. The people on the ground.
Excuse me? Steve, look, give me a break. You're going to a serious argument now. You're going to have a serious argument. I use ATM just like you. They're not up there or down there with ATM use.
Well, the ATM...
What, somebody bring money in my house to me? The banks just bring money in my house. I up there, so the banks just bring money in my house to me. I don't use ATMs. Long, watery strips.
Paul, what I am saying It's not my job to find out where it's safe to put an ATM. You cannot put one ATM and expect everybody to use that one ATM.
And where's the one ATM? You go on with your superlatives again.
Paul, I done talk. You can cash your check from the banks. It's all right. But people, when I went to Scotiabank, the lady called and she said, no Republic Bank have any cash. There are long lines. It's a month end. I understand the fact that they need to put it on a safe place. No ATM is safe, by the way. But they need to put things in place. If the machine has no money, make sure you go every 2 days or every day or whatever the case may be. But I'm just using that Samoa, that Barataria area itself. South, there's none. You go to another one, they're asking for money in euros. What? So it took me half an hour.
Giving euros,
yeah. I couldn't believe they put your card, they tap your card, and then they have the euro symbol, and so a guy said, well, this is like a month ago. Well, let me try and take out the equivalent in euros and see what I get. That didn't even work. But they need to work it. They need that ATM in Maritime. Is it working or it's not working? And 3/4 of the times it's not working. And if you have so many people,
I generally don't use ATMs at all.
Well, I need to get cash, so.
If where I go in using card, then we will have a problem.
Yeah, but I had no cash on me. I mean, I don't work with cash, period, but I had to work with some cash to pay a guy. So, it just, they need to do something better. They need to analyze it properly. Because if you have one ATM, let's say the south of the Eastern Main Road using Ellsgore Road as your boundary and using my Maritime as your boundary, there's just one. And there's so many business places that let's use on 6th Avenue, call centers. It's when you pass lunchtime today, there's going to be a huge line today. If it works.
Anyway, it's October 27, and it's the birthday of Nalini. That's what she goes by. Ricardo Gosine. Happy birthday, Ricardo. Played cricket, a bit of cricket with Ricardo. DJ Sleepy, who listens to us, and I think he messages us sometimes. Happy birthday, DJ Sleepy. Aaron Coward, Willan Ivan Nurse, Asim Romani. And yesterday, of course, was Ruthven Walker, my cousin who lives abroad, my nephew Jamal Rupert, and Sterling Henderson, who reads the news at I-95, and Larry McLean. They all celebrated their birthday yesterday. All right, so happy birthday.
I just have one. It's just Dr. Emily Capon. That's one of Empress's vets. Happy birthday to you, Emily. She went away. She had loved Empress.
All right. And tomorrow, of course, is Sean Lynch. He's a medical doctor. He always posts on Facebook. Happy birthday, Sean. Abigail Nanlal, she's out there in the embassy in Miami now. Happy birthday, Abigail. Mary Fullerton, Clyde James, and Matthew Mitchell. They will all be celebrating their birthdays tomorrow. All right? And then there's a long list for Sunday, including Anthony Tom.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen him in a long time.
And Katian Townsend is next week, Monday. I have to remember that, Katian. All right? So happy birthday to all you October people once again. And this weekend is Carnival in Tobago. Lots of flights headed out to Tobago from my home here. I see them all. It's busy, the airport busy, the skies busy with airplanes.
Yeah, I think I did some more flights.
So you mean CAD is actually not trying to sabotage Tobago Carnival as is suggested by some in Tobago?
That was such a crazy, stupid statement, eh? But say what?
And it's not the first one, it won't be the last.
True. This.
He done looking for somebody to blame already.
Yeah, boy. He is just so
unnecessarily
combative.
No, it's immaturity. That's what it is.
Yeah.
King for a day. When you're king for a day, it's going like that, you're accustomed being a king.
I guess so.
King for a day. So he's little, He's little,
Let's say good morning to Dr. Rowley and Minister Hines. They spent the night on a Coast Guard cutter as they patrolled.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the TTS Scarborough.
Okay. What, a new boat or something came in?
No.
It's one of our Coast Guard boats that he went in, spent the night on it.
They didn't crash it into the rocks. Oops, what a same story.
Okay. But they went actually out on patrols then?
Yeah.
I think it's more symbolic than anything else,
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, They went to show support for the Coast Guardsmen and women. And to make sure that the driver ain't crash another boat into rocks. So they had to go to the Dominican Republic to spend millions of dollars to fix.
Oh dear.
And then don't tell nobody it mashed up underneath and went on a trip somewhere and then they sink. That came out, I was saying it out loud. It was
all that happened already with a boat?
It was supposed to be in my head, sorry. Sorry. It was supposed to be. I didn't know I was verbalizing, sorry. I thought I was talking to myself in my head.
Oh gosh.
Oh yes. And then the alleged driver, captain at the time, went on vacation. Sipped my coffee. And the boat up on some rocks, yes. One of the new boats,
Oh dear.
Drag off half on the Navy boat. And then went and packed it back and went and sleep. And then tell nobody, Just saying. It came out in a GSC. Never at that moment, it's public knowledge.
I read as you talk GSC now, I read an article today. I took a snapshot of it. Let me get it for you. It says yesterday in the Senate, the article is dated. I got the article this morning, but they're talking about Tuesday, October 24th in the Senate.
Yeah, it would have been Tuesday.
So, Paul, you would know about this. It says they're telling the president of the Senate not to be hoodwinked and manipulated by the UNC, because it says the new independent senators' maiden contributions on Monday put Damian Leiter and Annie Roberts' poor performances to shame. So they both were told to or voluntarily called in sick the next day. Is that allowed? Tuesday? So what did the UNC do? Knowing that only 6 UNC senators are allowed to debate in the Senate, they snuck in 2 temporary senators, both resurrected and politically dead politicians, Carson Charles and Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, to try to make up for the previous trash talk by Leiter and Roberts. But they came only with more gubar to mislead the listening public. They said President of the Senate, Nigel de Freitas, should have never allowed 8 UNC senators to speak, when the rule is only 6 UNC senators are allowed to speak in the Senate. Is that accurate? Can they replace people on the other people?
No, it is not accurate. And the president of the Senate has no power, as I understand it, to stop anybody who is appointed legitimately on any bench from speaking. It is I'm trying to use this word very carefully. There are typically 6 UNC senators, I think 16 government senators, and 9 independent senators. If that was so, then the president of the Senate would have had to stop temporary independent senator Francis Lewis, I think his name was, from contributing also on Tuesday.
Right, but did he contribute in addition to the other 9?
No, he didn't, because Anthony Vera is out of the country, I believe. But that is still not the point. The point is, once you are legitimately appointed and you are within the time before the minister wraps up, you can make a contribution.
So it doesn't matter how many you replace during that time.
It doesn't matter.
They're allowed to speak.
Yeah, it's not
because I think that's the question.
It is not.
That's really
that person clearly hasn't read the standing orders.
Yeah. So they could have replaced all 6 with 6 more.
If they so desire.
Other 6 speak too.
If it is not the first time it has happened, then I don't think they're breaking any law. It may be, let me not say anything, but it is allowed.
It is allowed. Okay. All right. Well, there we go.
You know, the president of the Senate did not in any way.
Okay.
Because if people get sick, they get sick. People get sick sometimes.
Maybe it was just Carson Charles got to respond to the NITCO thing, which, of course, was rebutted very well by Senator Rishi Sukai. You understand? Because it showed that it actually happened under his watch.
Facts are a difficult, stubborn thing.
Yeah. So that backfired.
And there will always be some document somewhere that says what it is. And
I don't know. Some people just forget sometimes.
What I want to talk about this morning is another disturbing, highly disturbing occurrence that is going to, in my opinion, amount to nothing. I don't think anyone will be held accountable, and it's a very, very dangerous occurrence. The 22-year-old Santa Cruz man, Emmanuel Joseph, who was held and charged with the assassination attempt of Deputy Prisons Commissioner Sherwin Bruce. Remember, he died from a heart attack?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Multiple blunt force trauma all over his body.
Why? What? I'm not surprised. We spoke about this, didn't we?
I'm not surprised. I don't think anyone is surprised, and surprise is not the issue here. They beat that young man to death. Yeah. Somebody beat that young man to death.
Yes.
While in the custody of the state.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you think he's innocent or guilty, which was yet to be proven in a court of law, he is now dead.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning,
and
guys.
This is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous precedent.
And it has happened before.
The first time.
But Paul, it has happened before.
As I said, not the first time.
Yeah, when they arrested someone I knew, mistaken identity, because someone said she was raped, and she did not give a proper identification of the car. And they stopped his car and took him into custody. And he's telling them, I don't know what you all are talking about. And they threatened,
I don't know whether
they threatened to take up pliers and pull out his nail, put his hand in the door. They did hit his hand in the door, and the desk drawer.
I don't know if Emmanuel Joseph is innocent or guilty. I don't know.
And nobody will know now.
There was enough evidence for the DPP to tell the authorities to lay charges against him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a particular benchmark. But Emmanuel Joseph should have had his day in court to try to defend himself. And if we go down this road, which we have on many occasions already, we might as well pick up swords and run in the street and do what we want.
Mm-hmm. It's vigilante justice.
Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous situation. And the acting prisons commissioner, who refuted a few days ago allegations from the young man's family that he didn't die from no heart attack, was told yesterday by Guardian Media that the pathology report, which was witnessed by former state pathologist Dr. Hugh Von Devines, who is an expert and retained by the boy's family to stand and watch the pathology, the autopsy, agreed with Dr. Sarathi Pramanik that the cause of death, as listed, was death as shock and hemorrhage, polytrauma, and blunt force trauma injuries all over his body. He was also receiving treatment for the gunshot wound on his shoulder, which may have been incurred when the driver / bodyguard return fire, right? Even with that overwhelming evidence, this young man should have had his day in court. Now, I know people going to jump out and say, well, he had no right to get himself in that. And another pest off the street. That is not the justice system we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And until they pick up your family, and that happened to them, you'd have a different perspective. That is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous precedent.
So it's like a police station.
It's like the person they held for Andrea Barrett's mother who suddenly fall off a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's like Romney who had to run and hide for his life and eventually end up dead.
Mm-hmm.
These things, this is very, very, very dangerous.
I can't even add to that because we spoke about it. When he was arrested, we spoke about it. Even before the reports came that he died from a heart attack, we said he is going to end up that same way. We joked about it. We did. So said, so done.
Yep. And sadly, this is not the first time something like this has happened.
And nothing is going to come out of it. No one is going to be held accountable because I must suspect that given the autopsy report, that may qualify as murder.
Yeah. An inquiry will be held, Paul. They will find the family will sue the state will pay, and not one single one of the officers, whoever was involved, will be held accountable. It ain't coming out of their pocket. Is the state got to pay the family? Because the family will probably win eventually. You understand?
They'll win money, they will win his life back.
Yeah, they'll get money then.
And this is not the first, fourth, or 14th time this has happened in the last 20 years. Eh?
No.
It seems standard operating procedure in some arms of the state. It is wrong.
We had people died whilst being held in police stations.
Yep.
Already.
Yep.
They find them hanging on a cell.
Oh yes, he will have a heart attack if you beat him for 12 hours. His heart will give out eventually. So yes, I'm sure the heart attack report was correct, because if you beat somebody for hours, they will get a heart attack eventually. It is just wrong. It is wrong. It is against the law. And again, what is worse, no one will be held accountable for this. And they wonder why people have little faith in the system in this country. Hear this next one, Tessa Graham. This is why crime would not stop, because you guys always support the criminals. More ignorance I've never heard.
No, well, you have to, I mean, you have to kind of explain it. It's not about supporting the criminal. It's in fact quite the opposite.
I think I went into I did not support. I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. I said he should have had his day in court.
No, but contextually, it's actually the opposite. You're supporting the rule of law. Because when somebody is arrested, when somebody is arrested, innocent or guilty, there is a rule of law process that runs.
Apparently not for Tessa Graham.
And so it's not about supporting criminals. It is actually quite the opposite. Yeah. It's supporting the rule of law, because even the police and the prison officers have to follow the rule of law.
Clearly,
no, apparently, Professor, once you're charged, they could kill you.
Well, clearly, Tessa is missing the fact that that young man may very well have been a criminal. You know, we don't know. You know. But
as I said before, I don't know if him, and I made a point of saying that given the fact that the DPP saw enough evidence to tell the authorities to lay charges, it's a serious benchmark met. He could very well have been, given what we know so far, been the perpetrator. But I don't know that because he is possibly guilty, not proven to be guilty in a court of law, that he should dead from blunt force trauma. So you go Tessa, knock yourself out.
Yeah. Lando, he didn't die in prison, you know. I don't know if you knew that. It wasn't.
But I don't know if he died in prison. I don't know where he died. I don't know where you get the cut skin. Well, if somebody, and I say somebody, he died in the custody of the state, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know the exact location, but he died while in the custody of the state.
We know we have, based on his autopsy, we have potential criminals there also.
And Nando makes a good point. It may have been another inmate. I don't know. But while you're in the custody of the state has a responsibility to protect your life. I don't know. This is just very, very disturbing. Yeah. Nothing will happen. Thanks for your perspective, Tessa. Appreciate it. We support the criminals. Yeah. Because we want the rule of law to be applied. Don't give him no trial. Let either inmates or prison officers beat him to death. I don't know which one, because it's the one of the two, not so?
Yeah.
It's not a visitor. It's just disgusting.
Some kind of spiritual blows he get or something.
Must be. Blunt force trauma. All of his body.
Yeah.
That caused the heart attack. A Jambi run in the jail and beat him up. Or in the van, the prison van, transported him somewhere.
Plenty Jambis out there now. No?
And tell me, did you get my picture yesterday?
Yeah?
Richard, do you have papers? I'm trying to knock one fast.
Yeah, actually I do. So it's now trying to read
the Prime Minister was very upset yesterday in a press conference about that $55 million. I'm sure the DPP will respond in writing today at some point. And he said he will not be part of the 4 cabinet ministers chosen to meet with the opposition to discuss crime. He confirmed that yesterday.
Oh, he will not be part of the team?
No, he will not be. I think he should be, but he said he will not be. I don't think anything more serious in the country than crime now. I think the executive leader of the country should be leading those talks. It's just my opinion.
Has the UNC named the team thus far?
I just hear Gary Griffith. I don't know who else.
I don't know what's
officially on the team.
We don't actually. I don't know what is going on with that team, because after the issue of whom the government listed as their team, and the Prime Minister being absent, the opposition has been kicking up some fuss about using that he should be there, etc. But I don't think they've listed a team formally.
For the opposition?
Is Mrs. Prasad Bissessa
in the
talks are actually on?
I think Mrs. Prasad Bissessa said, I saw a news report saying that she did say, she didn't name a whole team, but she did. There was an indication that Gary Griffith would form part of the team.
But I don't know the talks are actually on. Are the talks on? We don't even know.
Well, I have no idea that the talks are off. The Prime Minister certainly believes from what he said yesterday, the talks are on.
Well, I don't even know if they're on or not. Because the opposition has been very resistant to the fact that Dr. Raleigh is not going to be there.
And I understand that. Mrs. Prasad Bissessa responded to the Prime Minister seeking to clarify whether or not Dr. Raleigh will be there, given the ambiguity of the first announcement and that the Attorney General would be chairing the meeting. And yesterday the Prime Minister said the Attorney General is the convener of the meeting. So that talking happening again. That is a good question. Do you think the crime talk should actually come off?
We polled that already.
Yeah, we did.
Well,
and people said no.
Yeah, we did a poll on that already.
We had to put one poll sometimes. Sometimes just need more than one poll.
Well, you could do a litmus. Yeah, you could do litmus tests at different points.
But what is he saying here on radio? Why you want to do the same poll twice?
Poll and one is you.
Same poll twice? Who does that?
You don't do the same poll twice?
Can I do the newspaper, please? Daily Express for today, Friday, October 27th.
You're not limited to one application.
It is Friday. The weekend has begun. And of course, theater is on this weekend. Nikki Crosby is on at Cipriani College. 50-ish and Hot AF. You should not miss it. It's the final.
It is not news. There's news, though.
It's on the front page. It's the final performance at 8:30 p.m.
You reading all the ads on the front page or just this one?
So, what's that?
Are you reading all the ads on the front page or just this one?
No. I'm just mentioning it.
Okay.
Front page news. PM's $55 million outrage.
Just 1 second, Richard. 1 second. Our news headlines brought to you by R&R Productions Limited.
PM's
RRS Productions.
Yeah. PM's $55 million outrage. Hugely disappointed and incensed over taxpayers funding a building for the DPP who refused to move in. Rowley agrees with Kamla. This is a subheadline. Temple attacks, not religious hate.
And they usually agree.
And another main picture is Carissa's friends graduate. These are
sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
But sad and happy at the same time. I mean,
yeah. All of that is on the front page. And court awards prison officer $3.5 million. On the back page of the Daily Express, Nicholas retains Pan Am Sprint title, solid gold. Paul picks up more precious metal. Upcoming matches at ICC Men's CWC, in case you want to know, that's there. And Team TTO at Pan Am Games. Today we have cycling, men's Kirin, and 9:13 a.m. Nicholas Paul. So they're giving us some evidence of what's happening at the games today. So that's the front and the back of the Daily Express. Moving on to the Newsday. PM, public servants face 3-month delay. Push back on back pay.
Yeah.
So what is that?
So
he said some public servant tell the Minister of Finance, you can't get that back pay till next year. Minister, the PS after the Minister of Finance announces in the budget that public servants will get it back by December, some PS in our ministry, didn't say which one, tell the Minister, you can't get it till next year. You know, cool yourself.
Yeah. I know them kind of PS.
So PM, public servants face 3-month delay, push back on back pay. And
that's not even Carnival.
Yeah. Well, because Carnival is so early next year. And also on the front page, the main picture, performer breathes fire at the Tobago Titans of Soca concert at the Esplanade on Milford Road in Scarborough,
Tobago. For that
Wednesday. And on the back of the Newsday, TT cyclist defends Pan Am sprint cycling crown. Paul, golden in Chile. And that's the main story. And Caraya steers Red Force to win versus Hurricanes. Moving on to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian today. Now, can you guess what headline they went with? Well, I'll tell you what they went with. Death by blunt force. Autopsy on accused in prison officer shooting finds death by blunt force. Pathologist rules on natural death in case. Family hires lawyer to pursue matter. The main picture, selfie celebration, computer studies and IT graduates take a selfie after receiving their degree certificates at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus. PM angry with rogue public servants and students caught taking drugs into school. Is he calling the DPP a rogue, or is he just inferring that the system is roguish?
Maybe you want to pull that?
No, I'm asking Paul because he always knows these things.
Yeah,
was
Paul,
that sorry?
He said PM is angry with rogue in inverted commas, public servants. So I'm saying, who's a rogue public servant? Is he? Because I know he was angry with the DPP.
Well, he spoke of that situation with the Minister of Finance. He also spoke about the two situations in Tobago where public officers seem to be
also the generic thing.
Yeah. So he said it's more than one occasion where they have had to come across public officers getting in the way of government trying to do what they have to do. Like if they, kind of thing. So he referenced a couple of situations, like the licensing office, the registrar general, all them kind of thing.
That's a good poll, though. It's a good poll, though. Do you agree that there are rogue public officers out there?
Oh, God, man. There's a rhetorical question. Come on, man.
So prisoner
Richard don't believe so. Richard does defend public officers, don't just go and wax.
What's that?
Richard has come to the stoic defense of public officers.
Yeah, because many times they are unnecessarily criticized. Sometimes
so do you think? Do you?
But sometimes it's
so.
Not.
Then we can ask the question: do you agree with the Prime Minister that there are rogue public officers?
It's kind of saying, are there rogue police officers too?
But we know the answer to that.
Well, police officers are rogue. Police officers are public officers,
Yes. Okay, but we're gonna go down the road of PSs.
Rogue public.
You getting specific now. You
what? Prisoner died from blunt force trauma. Family challenges if right man held in assassination plot. So it even thickens. So all of that is on the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Well, that's the headline they went with, actually. On the back page, Paul defends sprint gold. And, of course, he did it successfully. And that's it for our 3 dailies this morning.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get the results for our morning poll from yesterday. Yesterday, we asked you, do you agree with Ansel Roger that young black men are committing most of the crimes in TNT? That was our poll yesterday. The results, 72%, 72 said yes. I don't know if you wanted to, another consideration for the poll would have been the issue of the attacks on the temples and whether you think it's a specific thing or whether you think it's a hate crime or is it just part of the crime situation?
That's a good question.
Both Kamala Prasad-Bissessar and Dr. Rowley have said it has nothing to do with race.
That do really mean that.
Yeah.
So we could ask.
Yeah, they both disagreed. Yeah, I mean, they both agreed on that point, yes. So do you think it constitutes a hate crime? Or are you of the belief that it's just part of the general crime situation?
No, that question is two-sided. Pick a side.
Yeah. No, when I say I don't want you to say it. Either way you can phrase it.
All right. I'll do the scoring. What is the question?
Do you think that the recent attacks on Hindu temples constitutes a hate crime?
All right, let's go with that.
All right, so 222-8255 North American 525-1099. Good morning, Ingrid Adams, Wayne B.
Well, it's either I correct grammar or I lose friends,
Maria Celia, good morning. Maria Marva, that is. Brenda Isaac out in Santa Cruz. She says it's misty. Mo Gaines, good morning. Annan, good morning. Wendy and James, DJ Ray, Mrs. R, good morning to you. Scorpion Pepper, Dennis Prasad, good morning. Lester Craigwell as well.
Lester Craigwell, are you a St. James man? I see you talking about that. I saw that awful leak on Panker Street. Is it by Nizam Street there? There's a terrible leak. What's a leak by Nizam and Panker Street? Hopefully the authorities will get it because a lot of water wasted based on what I saw. So I trust that you're a St. James person, whoever Lester Cragwell is.
Ambrose Block, good morning. CJ New York, Cheryl Charles, Edwin Marshall, good morning to you all. Thank you for hitting us up a message. All right, our morning poll. Do you think the attacks on Hindu temples constitute a hate crime? Yes or no?
That's our poll this morning. So 222-TALK, 222-8255. North Americans, 866-525-1099. People on the web and the app are voting via messaging. Needs to do it on the comment section on our YouTube stream for us to duly record it. So that's our poll this morning. Do you think the attacks on Hindu temples and the recent attacks on Hindu temples constitute a hate crime? Of course, the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition don't think so.
And they rarely agree on anything.
And yeah,
he did say that.
Your opinion?
Wayne Joseph says no. Josie Richardson says no. Ishan Malik says yes. Wayne Joseph says no. Did I say that before? Lorna Kalu Singh says no. Julia Batiste says no. And Lester Cragwell, yes, I think was answering me if he lives in St. James. I don't think that was a yesterday poll. I stand corrected, Lester. If that was answering the poll or if that was answering me. Anthony Franco says no. So we can take your calls also too.
Yep. 222-8255.
Yeah.
North Americans, 866-525-1099. Good morning, caller. Oh, they left.
Carol Guevara says no. It'll be interesting to hear from Mr. Pinal. I couldn't help but hear Mr. Pinal's reference to a mosquito on a white wall the other morning, guys, with you all. Was it yesterday?
It didn't escape me, I had to kill them.
Yeah, and I'm saying, so he ain't concerned about what the water in the pond and in the properties or the tires and saying that's bringing the mosquito. You ain't concerned about that.
No,
just kill all the mosquito.
Yeah, kill all the mosquito.
My God.
Of course, it's a strong euphemism, eh?
That man's sick, yes? I swear
strong
he's sick.
euphemism.
All right, let's grab this call.
Good morning. I just shook my head.
Good morning, gentlemen. Sandy Grandi. My answer is yes, and I celebrate my birthday tomorrow.
All right,
happy birthday,
Happy birthday in advance.
Happy birthday, Mr. Gomes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Grandy. Yes, you know, as they say, it's not how it was done, but it's not what was done, it's how it was done.
All right.
The meat and the alcohol.
Gregory Bora says no.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. No.
Radio.
Did I say Wayne B?
No, not yet.
Wayne B says no also.
Running
CJ says yes.
Coming up after 7 o'clock news, we'll have the U.S. Embassy talking about their 2023 college fair.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you think the attacks on Hindu temples constitute a hate crime? Yes or no? All right. That's a message by you on Facebook, or give us a call.
Mm-hmm.
Much like the U.S. ambassador. She's such a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, eh?
Excellency Candace Bond. Bond. Candace Bond.
Bond.
My name is Bond.
Candace.
Candace Bond.
Good morning, caller.
And an interesting role.
Morning.
Morning, Steve.
Hi.
Morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Gemma.
Good morning, Wendell.
Hi, Gemma. How are you, darling? My darling.
Hanging on, I like Soupy, hanging on. I just called to say good morning.
To hear you.
Yes,
we appreciate the call.
Okay? Yes, okay, later.
All right,
Have a great day.
Gemma. Mwah.
All right. Thanks, Gemma. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi.
Good morning, Zena.
I really don't know. I just feel like it's mischief. But before I go, Paul, you see, maybe you had a dream often, you know. You know, yesterday when I called the two numbers, you realize it, they playing the pick two, second draw of the pick two.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday,
I
16
tell
and
you,
61. I said, Jesus.
the Jamet really play. I tell you, I dream you, the Jamet play.
And I call the numbers, and you know, I should have go out and play that.
It's not just the dreaming, it's what you do in the dream.
All right, I'll go. Yes, you.
So just about the dream. You can be lighting candles and you may not be lighting candles at all.
All right. Thank you. Good
Not
morning.
bad.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Dudu.
Good morning, dear.
Guys. How are you all? Long time I was not on. Yes, anyway, my answer is no. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good morning to Ms. San Fernando. We want to hear the update on the bats this morning.
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 Morning, gentlemen. When you use corned beef and alcohol to desecrate a temple and you burn an effigy, that is not a regular crime. So I would say yes, it's a hate crime. Okay.
Those circumstances are also very telling. I agree with that.
Thank you, big guy out in New York.
They just go to rob. Yeah, they use meat and they leave alcohol and they burnt effigies. It wasn't just a random weird stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't just vandalism here or robbery. It's very pointed, unfortunately.
All right, we have a minute again to vote on our poll.
So we're still taking your votes. 222-TALK, 222-8255. North Americans, 866-525-1099. People on the web and the app who want to vote without calling in, you'll have to do it in the comment section of our YouTube stream.
And Facebook. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn this morning.
Okay. You can vote. Who's counting the votes on Facebook?
They're all coming up on the thing.
Good morning, caller.
Yeah, Ragu was saying, Paul Richard, if you can, Wendell Evans. Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
Look at that, Richard. You see, we have styles here.
People, house of worship and do all them kind of thing and desecrate the people, please. That is hatred all you. You are no love in that. Is that not love or hate? So, Kamala Bisa and Dr. Eric Williams was wrong. That is
Dr.
hate.
Eric Williams was wrong.
Very Williams.
Well, you brought him back, okay.
That is hate all you. We don't know what is hate and love in this country. You know what we just use? Tolerance. But tolerance is hate. I go on.
Tolerance is not.
Better get some ginkgo or something.
Or something. He mix up all kind of names.
The man resurrect Eric Williams.
Eric Williams, yeah.
All right, well, gentlemen, let's get into our major news. It is exactly 7 o'clock on this, the 27th day of October. Evie is in. News starts right now.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
The 22-year-old Santa Cruz man accused of an assassination attempt on Deputy Prison Commissioner Sherwin Bruce died from blunt force trauma. Government describes a waste of money spent to rent a building not occupied yet by the DPP. Government condemns acts of vandalism carried out at places of worship, and Guyana's president and opposition leader agree the country's sovereignty is of paramount importance amid tension with Venezuela. Details in a moment. This is news 2 to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintel-Bab. Good morning. The 22-year-old Santa Cruz man accused of an assassination attempt on Deputy Prison Commissioner Sherwin Bruce died of unnatural causes, according to an autopsy yesterday. In announcing Emmanuel Joseph's death in a media release on Saturday, the TNT Prison Service said around 10:20 p.m. last Friday, Joseph complained about chest pains and was taken to the Arima Health facility where he was pronounced dead. However, the post-mortem certificate prepared by consultant forensic pathologist Dr. Pasarathi Paramanik after performing an autopsy at the Forensic Science Center in St. James yesterday afternoon, listed the cause of death as shock and hemorrhage, polytrauma, and blunt force trauma injuries all over his body. While the certificate also noted that Joseph had a gunshot injury to his right shoulder, he was receiving treatment for the injury at the facility when he was initially detained for the shooting involving Bruce, his bodyguard, and daughter hours after it occurred. Yesterday's autopsy was observed by former state pathologist Dr. Hugh Van Devines, who was retained by the family to provide a second opinion. He spent a little over a week in police custody before he was eventually charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, possession of a firearm to endanger life, and possession of ammunition to endanger life last Wednesday. Contacted late yesterday, Acting Prisons Commissioner Deo Prasad Rambuta said he was yet to receive the autopsy report. Despite being informed of its contents, Rambuta declined to comment until he was officially informed of the results. Wasted money is how the Prime Minister has described the $55 million spent to rent a building on Park and Henry Street in Port of Spain to house the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, which was not occupied by DPP Roger Gaspard. It was revealed by the Prime Minister the government had been paying millions of dollars in rent for the past 3 years, the contract for which came to an end and is now on a month-to-month contract. Speaking at the weekly post-cabinet news briefing on Thursday, Dr. Rowley said to date he is yet to get any justification from the DPP as to why he will not occupy the building. He said all was done to ensure the building was safe and fit for use.
Long and short of the story is that the money was wasted. I don't want to get into any fight with anybody, right? I don't want to get into any disturbing conversation, but I just find that this is unacceptable. A public officer decide I am not going in that building. I've seen the security reports. In the end, the landlord had to say, do not do anything further to my building. 3 years was up. We're on a month-to-month contract. So-called reports from special branch, which is no justification for that waste. And I, as a public official, I too am exposed to matters of risk and personal security.
Meanwhile, the government is strongly condemning acts of vandalism carried out at places of worship. However, the Prime Minister does not believe any one group is being targeted. Recently, the opposition leader said there have been attacks on churches, mosques, and temples, but is of the view it was very dangerous to suggest the recent attacks on Hindu temples without an iota of evidence was fueled by religious hatred.
But these must not be viewed in isolation as an attack on the Hindu community. In July this year, the Church of the Assumption Parish Office at Maraval was broken into. There were robberies or vandalism at the Mount St. Benedict Monastery, San Rafael RC Church, St. Francis of Assisi RC Church, and the Claxton Bay SDA Church, amongst others. Some of these were crimes committed by drug addicts, mentally disturbed persons, mischief makers, or petty thieves.
Dr. Keith Rowley told reporters of his own personal experience in terms of his religious upbringing and individuals of different religious persuasions he's worked and interacted with.
And to say that in our country, people are targeting other people because of their religion, I can't say that because I don't live that. I mean, I grew up in this country. I mean, I'm a Methodist by baptism. I was raised by Seventh-day Adventists. I went to an Anglican school, I married a Catholic, and I manage Hindus and Muslims at work. And a lot of my friends, I run a political party, and I have friends across the board. So I cannot subscribe to this thing about one group attacking another group because of their religion. What we have are criminals and petty criminals carrying out criminal conduct at places of worship, and that must stop.
A Tobago man was granted bail in the sum of $15,000 by a justice of the peace after he was charged with the offense of uttering a forged valuable security. 23-year-old Akil Kerr of Calder Hall, Tobago, Scarborough, was charged with the offense by WPC Hamilton of the Fraud Squad office in Tobago. He is to appear in the Scarborough Magistrates Court on July 1st, 2024. A supermarket reported to police that a check in the sum of $49.25 was issued to a man from whom it brought goods as payment for said goods. It is alleged the said man returned the following day and presented the check for encashment, but it was discovered that the check was altered and inflated to read $492.25. An investigation was launched into the matter and a male suspect was arrested. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. The Caribbean Community, CARICOM, on Thursday reaffirmed the need for states to respect international law as Venezuela revived a more than century-old border dispute with Guyana. CARICOM voiced its concerns hours after the Guyanese government and opposition issued a joint statement condemning what they described as Venezuela's flagrant violation of the rule of law and agreed that no effort should be spared to resist Venezuela's persistent endeavors to undermine Guyana's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Meanwhile, Guyana President Dr. Irfan Ali and leader of the opposition Aubrey Norton met at the office of the president this week to discuss the threat by Venezuela to Guyana's sovereignty and territorial integrity. In discussing the latest actions by the government of Venezuela in pursuit of its spurious claim of the Essequibo territory of Guyana, President Ali and opposition leader Norton from the outset agreed Guyana's sovereignty is of paramount importance and is a matter on which the Guyanese people are all completely united. Both condemned what they described as the flagrant violation of the rule of law by Venezuela and agreed that no effort should be spared to resist that country's persistent endeavors to undermine Guyana's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Gordon Mosley of News Source reports.
And they have agreed that no effort should be spared to resist that country's persistent endeavors to undermine Guyana's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The two leaders and their delegations met yesterday at the president's office in wake of Venezuela's ongoing threats against Guyana and its claims of Guyana's Essequibo region. Venezuela has planned a referendum to make the Essequibo region a new state of Venezuela. The Guyana government and the opposition have rejected that planned referendum.
Well, finally, here is weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago's sunshine will likely be interrupted by a few partly cloudy intervals with showers over a few areas, especially from late morning. There is a medium chance of isolated thunderstorm activity. Tonight will be generally settled, apart from the odd isolated shower. Street flooding and gusty winds are possible in the event of heavy showers. Hazardous seas alert, a yellow level, is presently in effect. Expect a temperature high of 33 degrees Celsius, both at Piarco International Airport and Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it's 27 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 28 at Crown Point. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, the 22-year-old Santa Cruz man accused of an assassination attempt on Deputy Prison Commissioner Sherwin Bruce died from blunt force trauma, according to an autopsy. The government describes as a waste of money spent to rent a building not yet occupied by the DPP. Government condemns acts of vandalism carried out at places of worship, and Guyana's president and opposition leader agree the country's sovereignty is of paramount importance amid tensions with Venezuela. I'm Avril Sindhilbab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Thank you so much, Avril, for our major news. You can join her again. Come at 8 o'clock for our news brief. Yep, it's getting a bit warm already. 27 at Piarco, 28 at Crown Point. All right, let's take a quick look before we get the results of our morning poll. What's happening on the highways and on the byways? All right, down San Fernando. Yeah, you've got some traffic. It's going to be heavy in a while. But that Golaconda Connector Road That's a heavy spot this morning. Heading northbound on the Solo, you're going to pick up your traffic this morning. Volume going through Chase Village, but by Charlieville, heading towards the interchange, you've got some traffic. Piarco towards UE, and then Valse in the Port of Spain, Eastern Main Road, you've got traffic from Tacarigua towards Paget, and then you'll pick it up again as you head into San Juan. Heavy out of Maraval, Lower Santa Cruz, and out of Deco Martin. All right. Let's see if we have any more votes. Lester Crigwell says yes. Marval on the road said yes.
All right.
Oh,
it's a pretty close one.
Just snuck in and said yes.
Carl Guevara, I think she voted already, didn't she? She voted no earlier on. She voted no at 6:54. Is it that you're changing your vote, Carl? I'm not sure. So do I put a yes and take off a no? Because if I put a yes and take off a no, I have 9 all. All right?
9 all.
I have, do you think the attacks on Hindu temple constitute a hate crime? Assuming that Carol Guevara has changed her vote from a no to a yes, it's 9 each. 9 said yes, 9 said no. Right? So I have to assume she changed her vote. All right, so that's the results of our poll. We have our guests online already.
We do? Oh, yes.
Yeah, we have them. They are online.
Good morning.
Yeah,
morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Doing well. Thank you guys so much for having us on.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
All right.
So we have Mike Fitzpatrick.
Hello.
All right, Mike. Nice seeing you here. And we've got, you may have to pronounce your name for me. Eli
Levine. Good
Eli
morning,
Levine, correct. Yes, you got it.
All right. So good morning to you. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having us
And
on.
Mike is the consular chief of the U.S. Embassy, and Eli is the assistant public affairs officer. Did I get those designations right?
Correct.
Yes, you did. All right. Nice carnival costume behind there.
Thank you.
Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, we're talking about the U.S. Embassy College Fair, which comes off on November 4th and the 5th, not too long in the distant future. And it's an annual affair. So give us some background, gentlemen, about this college fair. It's been on for a while now, but for those who may not know about it.
Yeah, so the College Fair is sort of the premier public diplomacy event that we're doing here at the U.S. Embassy. This year, it'll be November 4th and 5th at the Hilton in Port of Spain. We have over 20 U.S. universities and colleges coming to show off the degree programs and other opportunities they have for students to study in the United States. Last year, we had about 7,000 students, parents, guidance counselors, and other individuals come in through the fair to see all of their colleges and universities. You'll have opportunities to meet with representatives as well as go into information sessions on things like writing your essays and preparing your application, and then also applying for a student visa, which is why my friend Mike will be there and helping out a lot.
I suppose that's an obvious place to start, because if it is you attend the fair and you're interested in pursuing your studies in the United States, what is the process? If you could give us a brief overview, Mike, what is the process of getting that student visa?
Sure. Well, the first step is, doing your research, finding the university or college or community college in the United States that best suits you, and then applying to that school. And once you're accepted to the school, they'll send you a document called an I-20. And once you have that I-20, then you can apply for the visa. The visa process is, at that point, is similar to for a tourist visa, and all the details are at our website at the U.S. Embassy. Just click on visas, and then you'll set an appointment and come in and talk to somebody from my team, and hopefully you'll be approved for the visa, and then you can travel to the United States and study.
So the process is you have to first be accepted by the school and then apply for the visa. Is that it?
That's correct. That's correct. The school will send you a document called an I-20, and to get a student visa interview, you do need to have that document, as well as your visa application and your passport. So that's the first step. And, a great way to find out about schools and things like scholarships and student aid would be to come to the student fair.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, this will become a rite of passage almost in Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of students who write CSEC, even before they complete their graduate results sometime, because it's the one place the embassy facilitates, and the embassy is acting as a facilitator here, right? The embassy has no role in granting your admission to college, just to be clear.
Correct. Yeah. So what we're doing here is providing an opportunity for U.S. universities and colleges to come and talk about the amazing programs that they offer, and then talk about the benefits of studying in the United States. And then we let them sort of handle the admissions process from then on.
How many universities are participating this year?
We have over 20. I believe at this point it's about 23. And then we're also partnering with our Canadian High Commission colleagues, and they have a number as well around there. And so it'll be a large group. And then we have other people from the consular section and other groups from around Trinidad to talk about visas and application processes and things like that as well.
So let me just get this clear. For people who already have B2 visitor visas, that cannot be used for the school entry.
No, you can't. Most people have a B1, B2, which means it's for business or tourism, and it can only be used for those purposes. To study in the United States, you need an F visa, which is the student visa. And it's very important that you properly use the visa. And if you do want to study, that you come and apply for that student visa.
All right. Now, the average B1, B2 visas are given for like 10-year periods. How long is the student visa given for?
The student visa, it's given for the course of study. So, if you're going for a 4-year school, we're going to give you enough time to be able to finish up your studies.
Okay.
And one thing to remember is once you enter the United States and you remain a student, you can stay in the United States legally as a student for as long as you like. Even if the visa expires, as long as you're a student, you're still there legally. It's only if you return to Trinidad for a visit, then you'd have to come see my team again and get a new student visa.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. So if you continue
the student visa, the period on the visa itself is to enter the United States. But once you're there and you stay in a legal status, you can stay longer than the end date on the visa itself.
Okay, that's good news.
But you can't work. You can stay as a student.
Well, you have to look at the rules carefully, and most universities have administrators that help out international students. There are ways that you can work part-time at the university, for example, but it's something that you need to look into and talk with the university about once you're there.
I just want to be clear because I know some of my colleagues may say, wow, this is a nice lacuna here. Why don't you do register for a course and I can stay in the U.S. indefinitely? Is that the case?
You have to remain in a legal student status.
You have to be at to continue staying in the U.S. as a student. Is it at the tertiary level, or is it any kind of education at all?
Well, at the tertiary, I'm sorry, I'm fairly new here. That's the university level. As long as you remain in a valid student status, you're registered with the school and you're taking courses. Yes, you can stay legally in the United States. Of course, you can only work per the rules, which often is just at the university and part-time. You can't be out working 40 hours doing something else.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would hope not.
Now, would you be able to work outside of the university?
There may be some limited opportunities there, but like I said, that's something that you need to bring up with the counselor at the schools and make sure that you're following their policies and also the visa policies.
Getting back to the college fair itself, is it not you can just show up and attend, or is there a pre-registration process?
No, thank you so much for asking that. So in order to maintain sort of numbers and make sure that everyone has a good experience and is able to interact with our reps, we have a registration system. So if you head over to our website, tt.usembassy.gov, or check any of our social media pages, we're on Instagram at USNTT, there will be registration links, and you can sign up for either the morning or afternoon session. The morning session will run from 10 to 1, and the afternoon session will run from 3 to 6 on both Saturday and Sunday. So pick whichever one fits best for your schedule and come then. It's free, so don't worry about any sort of cost associated with it. And we just do that in order to make sure that we don't have a ton of people coming at one time and that all the reps have enough space to interact with all the students.
Where is it taking place?
At the Hilton in Port of Spain.
No, I'm glad I said that because at one point it was at the Hyatt, but it's at the Hilton this year.
Yes, this year it's at the Hilton.
Now, this because this is an ongoing situation, it clearly, and universities are such competitive entities these days. They're coming to Trinidad and of course Tobago included, Tobagonians included, to ensure that our cadre of students gets an opportunity to see what they have to offer. It clearly speaks well to Trinidad and Tobago as a source of students for the U.S. universities. Would that not be so?
Oh, 100%. So we speak to college reps all the time, and all of them are talking about how much they wanted to get down here, especially since COVID, when a lot of the travel was restricted. A lot of our college reps are really excited to get back down here because the caliber of students is so high. And so they do incredibly well at our colleges and universities in the United States. And one of the benefits of studying in the US is we have colleges and universities that can fit everyone's needs. And so there are large research institutions that will be coming, as well as smaller community colleges that might provide a more affordable path and do, 2-year programs, 4-year programs. And then, some of these colleges and universities go on to the graduate level. And so that's really the amazing thing, is that we'll have such a diverse group of college reps from across the country and across all levels of, financial need and course offerings.
Is there an age limit as to who you're entertaining?
No, there isn't. And so we offer this to, obviously the primary audience is parents, students, and guidance counselors. And so that's who's really going to benefit the most from this. But we don't really set an age limit on it per se.
No, I mean, we've issued student visas to people in their 50s and 60s who are going, just to take classes that interest them.
There you go.
There really is no age limit.
All right.
You mentioned mostly it's undergraduate students, but does it also cater for graduate students and postgraduate student opportunities?
Yeah, so some of the schools that are coming only offer undergraduate programs, and obviously they're going to be more tailored to the undergraduate students, but we will have larger universities as well that are coming that have those postgraduate level programs. And so, they offer master's, JD, PhD programs as well. And so they'll be able to talk about that.
Would you have a list of some of the universities, and are you allowed to mention them by name?
We will hand those over to you after, and we can have. We'll publish it on social media, and so that everyone can see who the schools will be attending. But I don't have it right in front of me right now.
So it's coming up on the 4th and the 5th of November at the Hilton Trinidad. And there are 2 areas, morning or afternoon. They should. Once again, let's just clarify that register on the U.S. Embassy's website for either of the 2 sessions.
Yeah, so you'll register for either the morning or the afternoon on either the 4th or the 5th. And if you go to the U.S. Embassy website, which is tt.usembassy.gov, you'll find a link to our registration page. It's also on our Instagram and Facebook. And so you'll be able to easily register, and it's free.
It's also a fun, exciting day because a lot of the colleges bring some takeaway bags and stuff, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, the great thing is you get to do you get to talk a bit with these reps and talk about the programs, and then maybe come away with a little goodie bag too.
You're both new to Trinidad and Tobago. How have you been enjoying it so far?
I love it here. I got here back in May and am absolutely in love with this country. I am a huge fan of spicy food and have really dived into all of the offerings that you have here.
Roti and doubles, pilau.
Amazingly, everybody goes to the food, eh?
Yeah, well, I went immediately to like medium roast pepper on my doubles. I don't think the guy originally thought that I was ready for it, but now that he knows me, he is willing to give me the spicy food.
It doesn't look like Mike is too much of a big fan of the spicy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm more recent. I've only been here about 2 months, so I'm still finding out a lot. But it's a beautiful country, and the people are so friendly that I'm really excited to be here. And I would like to mention that I am going to Tobago in November for my first visit there. And there will be an opportunity there for American citizens to meet with me. So, please contact us if you'd like. Also we'll be doing interviews for passports and notary services in Tobago on November 16th. So any American citizen who's interested in that or in coming and meeting with the consular chief, and I'm there to hear your concerns and your questions. Please contact us at acspos@state.gov.
As you raise the issue of Tobago, Mr. Fitzpatrick, will the fair be open also for the people of Tobago?
Yeah, of course. So while the fair itself won't be in Tobago, we are more than welcoming all the students of Tobago to come to Port of Spain for it. I know it can be hard, but we would welcome anyone from Tobago to come attend. Okay.
All right. So the annual U.S. Embassy School Fair is coming up. College Fair, I should say, is coming up of November at the Hilton Trinidad. There are 2 sessions that you can avail yourselves the morning or the afternoon, not and the afternoon or the afternoon, because they're trying to cater for as much as 7,000 students, and it's usually heavily subscribed. Would that not be so? It's quite a packed day.
That's a fair
very well attended. Yeah, it's very well attended. And so you have to register first. I think people need to know that. You have to register first. You can't just show up, so that they could can better control the flow of students and parents coming in to see the college fair.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for highlighting that.
Yeah. Eli, I just got a message from a friend of mine saying that they're going to be in Trinidad from Guyana, and they're going to be in Trinidad next weekend and maybe interested in the college fair. How is that going to work? Seeing that they're not from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to if you are find a spot and register, we more than welcome you. Anyone that's in Port of Spain who registers can come in and meet our college reps and talk about learning and studying in the United States.
Now, you mentioned morning or afternoon. Can you register? Is it also limited to either of the 2 days? Because it's 2 days, morning or afternoon. Is it that you're allowed one shot at the cherry, so to speak?
Yeah, we encourage you to just sign up for one time frame on one day, just so that everyone gets an opportunity to meet with all the reps.
Oh.
All right, good. Anything else you'd like to mention that we didn't cover?
No, I think you guys did a great job. We're just really excited to have all of these college representatives. They're really excited to have be down here on November 4th and 5th at the Hilton. And Mike is super excited to head over to Tobago in a couple of weeks to do some outreach to our American citizens.
Yeah, it's going to be a great trip. I'm looking forward to meeting our Americans who are in Tobago. And the consular section will also have people at the college fair. So we'll be able to answer questions about the visa process there. And there will be 2 presentations about the visa process at the fair also in the afternoons. So, we look forward to meeting people. We did a record number of visa interviews this year, but we'd love to see more student visa applicants. We really would.
When in Tobago you're going to be in the middle of November?
On November 16th, me and my team will be in Scarborough. And if you want information about meeting with me or getting a passport or notary service, please contact us at acspos@state.gov.
One of our listeners is asking, how come it's not being held in Tobago also?
This year, we're able to host it in Port of Spain just because that's where we can get everyone together. It's a constant question that we're asking ourselves of how we can make the fair more accessible to people from Tobago. And so we do record a lot of our sessions online and are trying to promote a lot more of it on social media to those who can't get to Trinidad. But unfortunately, we're only able to cover so much ground in one weekend. And so we try to focus it on Port of Spain.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me just advise you, the double tastes different in North and South Trinidad. So don't eat everything in one place alone. All right.
Which are better, though.
Yeah, where are the good ones?
I'm not getting into that debate.
That depends where you're from.
I'm not getting into that. That's a very conflicting debate in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, I'll stay out of it.
You will judge for yourselves, hopefully. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Mike and Eli, thanks for being with us. All the best.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All the best to you guys.
Bye.
All right. It's Mike and Eli from the U.S. Embassy talking about the U.S. Embassy College Fair. And Diana, just so you know, the question of the refugees is not part of what we agreed to discuss here.
No.
So.
No, it's just college fair we're discussing.
Just college fair we're discussing. Not American
foreign policy. Little bit again, Diana, come and cut with tail, yes?
Yeah, I realize that. Yeah. Got very aggressive there for a while. So you're ignoring my question. Well, I asked the question. I hope that satisfied you. The refugee question was off the table. 222 talk 222-8255.
612-8255. North Americans 866-525-1099. We're taking some of your calls. But before we do, Nikki Crosby, Hot AF, is on with its final performance tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. If you don't have your tickets, why don't you? It's your last opportunity. Of course, tickets are available at the Cipriani College box office, which is open 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And loads of people apparently went to that box office yesterday. There was a lot of unusual activity. I mean, it was a lot of people that went there yesterday. Usually, like today and Saturday itself, you get even more people, but lots of people went yesterday. So you can get tickets at the box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, you can also get tickets at all of the outlets that sell tickets across the East-West corridor, including Electronics in Arima, Jubilee Railway in Tunapuna, Crosby's in St. James, Champlain Auto Services in Champlain, K-Squared Fashions in East Gates, in Trinity, and of course in West Mall. For those of you in Western Port of Spain, that's where you can get tickets. Creme Fresh at Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, for those of you in the central area. And those of you in the Valsin area, besides Cipriani College, you can also get it at Val Park Shopping Plaza, at Antoni's Florals. And those of you in the Trinity area, you also have the choice of, I suppose those of you in Oropuntu, you also have the choice of Fens of Marabella at Piarco Plaza. All of these are the outlets that have tickets. You should not miss it. Trust me, you will thank me for having attended the show.
All right, we have some calls. Good morning, caller.
That good.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Steve, I feel your pain when it comes to those ATM. I have a loan with Scotia Bank, right? There was a Scotia Bank branch on the corner of Sapera and Rushford Street, which they closed. So they put an ATM at the location, but it's an ATM that you could only withdraw from. You cannot deposit. And I usually deposit to pay my loan. So you have to either go High Street, which there's no park on High Street, Marabella, or Penal. And I live 2 minutes away from Sapero Street. So when I have to pay my loan, I have to drive 15, 20 kilometers. Sometimes I have to go Princestown, because what happens, like on High Street, there are 3 ATMs, one doing deposit. In Penal, there are 2 ATMs, one doing deposit. In Marbella, there are 3 ATMs, one doing deposit. And sometimes when the cartridge is full, they don't do deposit again. Now, 3 times it has happened to me where I pay the loan late because there's no ATM to get to pay the loan, and the Scotiabank charges you $396 if you pay late. There's a fee, and it has happened 3 times where I'm charged $396, not for no fault of mine, but because you go to imagine you have to drive 25 minutes from where you live to put in money in an ATM.
To use an ATM, yes.
It's ridiculous. And
I find all ATMs, I never understand that thing with ATMs, that only some could take deposits. I find all should take deposits.
All should be able to do every transaction.
No, sorry. There is an ATM. There is a Scotiabank ATM at by Subway at around Laramie by Hilo, by Massey, sorry. There's an ATM there. But they only do withdrawals, no deposits. So
Which I don't understand.
And I had brought it up at the counter, and all they say, well, we will put it to management. No, we need action now. I paid extra. That's like $1,200 extra, which I shouldn't have to pay because my loan was paid a day late. And I swear to God, I am never going to do any business with Scotiabank after I pay off this loan.
I can tell you about Scotiabank. I deal with Scotiabank. I actually went into Scotiabank this week. And, I walked out just shaking my head. All I wanted is some information.
And this is where...
I've only had good experiences with
Consumer Affairs should have something to say about these things. But
I had one bad experience with a Scotiabank way back in the day, and I've never banked with them again since. I took out all my money that day, and I went Royal Bank. There was Scotiabank on the Western Main Road in St. James. I don't know if people know there was a Scotiabank where Linda's Bakery is now. That was the first Scotiabank where Linda's Bakery is now. And then they eventually ended up across the road on the other corner by Galleria Shopping Plaza. But they first started where Linda's Bakery is on the Western Main Road in St. James. That's where the Scotiabank was. And they treat me like, I don't know. I can't describe the treatment back in the day. And I went Royal Bank, Starlight Shopping Plaza, because Royal Bank, even though Royal Bank had a branch in St. James, I had a friend who worked at Starlight Shopping Plaza. And I went down there. She said, come down there. And I've never left Royal Bank since. Yeah, and I've never gone back to Scotiabank. I just shook my head. I walked out this weekend. And then if you're going to try to reach somebody in there.
My experience
thank you, Sonny.
Is pretty positive. Right. But that issue of ATMs, because I find the Scotiabank ATMs are by far superior to the Republic Bank ATMs. Quite frankly, Republic Bank is like caught in a time warp with their ATMs. And I always talk about struggling to take you just have a tug of war with your card in a ATM from Republic Bank. And it's terrible. I don't know what it is about Republic Bank not upgrading their ATMs. So for citizens and Scotiabank, I find have the best ATMs. But the service, but that issue of some machines doing deposits is a feature nearly of all of them.
World Bank too. Not all the machines do the deposits. Yeah.
It's annoying. All machines should do the same function.
Yeah. We have a call. Good morning.
Well, Republic Bank, you have your envelopes. Oh, God forbid.
When I see Dr. Eric Williams, my mind was on yesterday. We was having a conversation about back pay long time. Dr. Eric Williams used to give workers back pay long time for Christmas. You remember that?
We're not as old as you are, Mr. Patrick.
I'm not so old, but I could remember every budget long time for Christmas, workers getting back pay. Because I hear workers asking for $9,000 back pay for Christmas. The PSA workers and them. But what was that I call to talk about? The WASA employee that was get buried in the trench. You know, I run a construction for how much years, brother? And I see we keep doing some kind of thing, and I say, but what kind of danger is this? You know, when you go down in a trench, a river bank or anybody, you're supposed to shore the bank. When you know to shore a bank?
Explain it, Mr. Patrick.
The shore a bank is mean that you have to get planks, you have to get steel sheet, and put it on both sides of the bank and block it with 2x4 and wheelers. So in case of any vibration or shifting to it, it wouldn't cave down in the trench.
Mr. Patrick, nobody does that again.
It's an expensive work. People don't do it so.
That's what I say. Nobody does that. Nobody does that again.
Well, something wrong with that. That's why the contractor will have to pay. I was in New York 2019, and I see they do a Peter Road work, and they show the bank on them. I just shake my hand and I smile because I know that the proper way to do the thing. We have a backhoe on the bank, an excavator on the bank, and all the sudden man down in a chest. With the vibration of them tractors alone, the whole soil has moved. So I don't know how we don't do things in that by. And we have rain season, we have wet season, we have all kind of soil. So it just cave down. So that just cave down on the man down there.
Yeah.
So contractors, WASA contractors and all contractors, all they do the proper thing now, boy. Do the proper thing now. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Mr. Patrick. 222-8255. North Americans, toll-free 866-525-1099. Good morning to Leonard Naipaul. Wow, did you guys read what Ron M said? Unbelievable. Ron M said, I was overcharged $4,500 by Scotiabank on my credit card. I went in to have it sorted out, and they told me they couldn't do anything about it. I closed my account and went to FCB. Of course, they could do something about it.
See how you get your thing, man.
Wow, that's $4,500 you're talking about, Ron M. Good morning.
I think he meant $45.
Clarify, Ron M.
I think he
Yes,
missed
caller,
it.
morning. Oh, they're gone. Good morning, Charlo. Charlo is in the house. All right, 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. That's our number is directly in the studio. And of course, our morning poll. Keep voting on it. It's going to stay for the weekend. Do you think the attacks on the Hindu temple constitute a hate crime? Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
When I saw Nigam say that he celebrated 10 years at Springvale Paradise, I sent a message asking him if Warden Street is included in Springvale Paradise, because it's only there he haven't gotten an answer as yet. So Warden Street still really of San Fernando.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for Samson. Good morning.
Hello?
Hi, morning.
Hey, morning, guys. Wendell, you're not correct with what you said there. I have a personal friend who works for us, and we discussed that issue. And he said he educated me to something called the shore. I never knew that something like that existed. He told me there's something that they have that is a kind of cage that they put when they dig the trench. They put it down, and then the worker goes inside of the cage. So if it should collapse, it will collapse on the cage. However, he said they take things for granted so much times in Wassa that he said that particular team didn't even have a shore. He said, and sometimes teams go out, the man down in the hole, and the shore on top put the rest down. They don't take it for granted. But he said yesterday, well, that particular day was a day they should have definitely used a shore because rain fell the night before, the ground was saturated, and there was no guarantee of stability. If it's sun hot and the soil is solid, you can take a chance and just run in the way you have to do and run out. But when rain falls, definitely you should have used the shore.
So you called to tell me I'm not correct, but then prove that I was correct?
No. I'm calling to tell you to educate the callers who didn't know what is a shore. And
Mr. Patrick did a pretty good job of that.
And they and Wassa's handedness, lack of protocol with having the shore and using the shore, right? And some supervisors would potentially lost the work for being lazy or for being what's the word?
Well, scholar, that's not lazy. You know, if there's a prescribed, because we have an OSH Act, an Occupational Health and Safety Act, that dictates that workplaces should have particular protocols, particularly in circumstances like that, to protect the lives of workers. So if there was a shore nearby and it wasn't applied for whatever reason, or not enough protective mechanisms were put in place when this man was in a trench, there could be a case for negligence.
Correct. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. That is my advice, really. Supervisors, all you're going to lose, or you put all your job on line by not following the correct procedures.
Caller, nobody lost in the work.
Well, yeah, you're probably right, Paul. But
nobody lost in work in Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody.
Yeah, the
and if the family sues and wins, is the state will pay not 1 cent coming out of their pocket.
Exactly.
Here the disadvantage with that now. Because I analyze things from both sides. Huh? Here what you're going to have now, a lack of productivity now, because on 9 out of 10 sites, no show is going to be available, and they're saying they're not doing the work because they don't have the protocols in place. So we're going to
they're right. They're actually right. So it's up to the employer, in this case the state WASA, to provide the protective mechanisms.
The protective mechanism, yes. So it's all going to fall back now on the government, not giving them what they need.
So they're right, but they're right because if I now have the evidence that somebody died because you didn't put up a show or some other protective device, and you telling me go down in that hole, you're not supposed to go down in a hole without protective devices.
Correct. So it's going to be one secular going thing happening over. There's a guy on TikTok named Rambles, very intelligent guy, and he made a video about the cycle of road repair, happening down in the West. Very good, intelligent, articulate narration. I will send it to you, Wendell, and hear tell me what you think about it.
All right, no problem.
All right, thank you. That reminds me, if you're coming up to Port of Spain, right by the Hall of Justice, right at the corner of Hart and Abercrombie Street, T and Tech is doing some work there, all right?
Yeah, sure.
I think they're putting in some cables or something. So some huge cables. I have a few trucks down there. Of course, the police will guide you because they have police there as well. All right.
If it's one part of the country that should have utility corridors, should be the capital city, quite frankly. But I don't know.
Wake up, Richard.
We love to see us at our wires hanging on, it annoys me no end.
I hate that. I hate to see that.
Anyway.
We can't put electricity. We cannot imagine to run electricity lines underground and trying to be great. Mad.
They do it in housing estates.
You want Port of Spain to electrocute everybody?
No, but they do it in housing estates. Lots of housing
estates. I know they do. I know there's a way to do it, but I'm talking about the way things happen in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, good luck.
Maybe a Rima will do it first.
But you're smart city. I ain't even hearing about how you made these days.
Bali, Uncle Bali. Well, I don't know what's going on.
I can't say it on radio.
I don't know what's going on with the smart city initiative. I know they had built the server center. I'm giving it that name, and I know that I think. And let me not say this on here because I'm not sure. Who the provider is. That is going to be providing the services, and they were on polls and blah blah blah. But that's about 2 months ago. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I will try and find out. Now. Me interested in myself, I will, All right.
I go and try and find out what's going on with that.
I reach this age by stressing on myself, All right. Me, I bring out there,
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Paul, who you ever with?
You.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was able in a dream anyway. I never able in real.
Pardon me?
Because you get special powers in dreams, you could do things in dreams that you can't do in real.
Oh, you have that problem?
I think that you can't talk about in dreams. You can't talk about it over the air.
Not over this ear.
Oh, right, okay. I could understand that.
That love way, Tad is jumped down with you for SH. Beep, beep, beep,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my friend.
I know they had a pen in their hand waiting, I wonder what you going to say today. I have a whole department assigned to this show. Make sure and record what they say, But that Zena woman, she mouth hot, she talking about snow on the roof and fire in the fireplace and the chimney and what kind of confusion she's with, right? And then we have a next one in South that's talking about the bat in the backyard and all kind of thing.
I have plenty bats in the backyard,
I know.
my fruit start
Yeah,
now.
plenty back. Yeah, so you must have plenty back.
They even turn right yet. They have.
Yeah, plenty front yard. Yeah, plenty back. Yeah, you just have plenty yard.
But I plant the sweet. Yeah,
You
and
have an expansive garden.
ask Richard when he passed, and he had you know, the Macomb place. Ask him the amount of plants.
No, we don't know who.
Front yard have.
Yeah.
And in
There's a lot
part
of plants.
when
There's
they
a lot of plants.
my friend, the back by me there.
I was in Arima Wednesday, you know. Passed by your house, I didn't see you.
You even know which part to go, so don't try that.
Yeah, you're very
it wasn't
right.
my hours.
You don't
so
know it's a little technical to get by you.
I didn't want to intrude. It wasn't my hours.
Just look for a set of ornamental pigs.
Oh God! So you stop talking out the business. The next time if anytime you have to pass here, you stay by the gate.
Ornamental pigs, Paul. Just look for them. Ceramic pigs
I
all
know
over the place.
I know exactly where she lives.
I want Richard to help me call out. I don't know how we managing. What happened to my 24/7 water supply? Marvin Gonzalez, my MP, water.
Marvin is not your MP.
Yes.
I thought you don't have problems, water problems by you.
Well, I don't know what happening of late, and rain falling now.
Didn't you boast just the other day you got water 24/7?
Thank you, Wendell. Thank you.
Yes.
You boasted the other day.
She didn't qualify the statement. She gets water all the time when Paul is around.
No, Wassa was listening. Wassa was listening, and Wassa say, oh, them must get 24 hours. Nah, let me put them on a schedule.
No, she never said a pipe-borne supply of water. She said water.
Paul,
all right.
You see you gonna get the letters.
She said water.
This
that bucket water, it had truck-borne, it had bucket-borne, it had bottled water, it had what kind of water?
Happening. Well, I kind of know that there is a problem, but I'm not but it's something maybe we should speak to Marvin Gonzalez about at some point, about, because I think there is a problem with the dams or reservoirs in area.
I told
you all it's going to get worse.
There's a problem with the Turncock and them too. Wendell, you had a big fire opposite all every area out there yesterday.
Yes,
my friend's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
A house burned,
calling, but I didn't get the message until after.
Yeah. I saw the woman being consoled there, but it was kind of heartbreaking when people see all their belongings going up in smoke. Boy. The woman was heartbroken on that pavement, being consoled. You know. And next to them, the house also was in danger, and there were 2 gas tanks, 200-pound cylinder gas tanks. And I advised the owner to go and cover them.
Hold on, Miss Sampson.
Is that Miss Sampson? No, I was advising the owner to go and cover them, and because they couldn't move them, and wet it down. Because it's 200-pound gas cylinders, and imagine if that heat had penetrated those things, and it was literally right behind the wall of where the house was burning. You know, but they got it under control, and all's well that ends well. But the house was completely gutted, completely burnt.
Yeah. Morning, Miss Sampson.
Morning. I was wondering the pole that fell on the lady vehicle. If she didn't have full coverage, who is responsible? The driver of the truck or the owner of the truck?
T&Tech, I'm hearing.
Or T&Tech? No.
That's what I heard.
Was it T&Tech that pulled down the wire?
It's a T&Tech pole that came down.
Yes, but it's the cement truck that pulled down the wire.
Right. So I guess that will be the insurance will have to deal with that. I don't know who will be held responsible.
Well, Richard, when they put when T&Tech put the wire underground, all those water people who like to dig up road will be electrocuted now. Because as they don't fix the road, they're there.
No, but it's utility corridors. They plan them out, you know. Utility corridors are not new to Trinidad. You know, they have housing estates that are built by HDC that have utility corridors. So they exist in certain parts of the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
it's not
you guys
new.
have a nice day.
It's new to our cities.
Or you see Dress Gate Part 2?
What?
What?
On the Dress Gate Part 2, when you see the picture of Ambassador Conrad Enel.
But he normally wear those kind of Nero tops.
No, he had a jeans and a t-shirt on. That's a Nero top.
It was a jeans and a t-shirt?
Seemed that way to me.
Let's go our final call. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to believe the cement truck and Tech will have to share that claim for that lady's vehicle. Because the cement truck pulled it down. I can't understand how a concrete pole could be pulled down by a truck pulling a wire. Wow, we have to be careful passing a concrete pole. And why they building concrete pole? I thought was steel. Anyway, I just came back from my walk. Paul made me change my clothes fast this morning and get out the house.
I have that effect on people sometimes.
Yeah, boy, here now, when you start to get on like a bite of shilling, I say, nah. I say, there's a GLC meeting I listening to. I can't understand the ATM. Paul get over. I say, nah. I say, I can't. This early morning, I change my clothes real fast. I mean, I could change my clothes fast, but Jesus, boy. Paul make me jump in them track pants and bust it. Anyway, let me move on.
You have less than a minute.
All right. I told 2 talk shows on the station. I will not be going to it.
You're breaking up badly.
It's only me hearing you breaking up.
Yeah, she's garbled. You're coming across garbled, Mr.
You yeah.
No, she's fine, man.
Anyway, I since Chris Linmore said put Vicine in the water, I stopped going to Tobago from since then. And this soap opera going on over there, it got worse with Ali. I can't understand. I never knew a junior officer could tell a senior officer they're not taking instructions from them. What is going on in Tobago? So, your senior boss in Tobago, I don't know why Dr. Rowley and give them their self-rule, wherever they want, Your senior boss in Trinidad can't give you instructions. Give you instructions to come to do a course.
It's not up to Dr. Rowley to get them self-rule.
No, I want them get it because set up of this nonsense. I know when you fill out your form in Service Commission, they have the last question. Are you prepared to work any part of Trinidad and Tobago? And we all just sign on the dotted line and say yes. And when they transfer in you, oh God, is my mother, my child can this. As we see it with Judge Carol Gobin, when I've actually was sending to Tobago, Lord Jesus, Dr. Rowley, do quick. I can't take this thing again no more. What the hell going on with these people? Tobago?
You keep saying Dr. Rowley. It's not up to Dr. Rowley to give Tobago the autonomous rule. It's the Parliament has to do that. People keep making that.
Well, you better kickstart it. And get the people and then run the thing themselves. So nobody go out to get no instructions. So no clerk, no who. They go run the thing by themselves. I had enough of this nonsense with Fally. That is why Steven Spielberg say, I tell him come and do the movie in Tobago. He said, no, he don't do soap operas. He's only do movie. You all have a wonderful weekend.
All
Bye.
right, you too, Diego Martin. Have a good one. Gentlemen,
you have a great weekend. Be safe.
On Monday will be Pastor Clive Dutton. So join us for that. Gentlemen, let's wrap it up.
Good joy.
Folks, have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. Be careful on the nation's roads. Look out for the young ones. And remember to let go and let God. I think, Richard, I'll come that play tomorrow, yes?
Yep. So, Nikki Crosby, Hot 50-ish at Hot AF. You should not miss it. I am telling you, you attend that show, you're going to thank me after. You're going to say, yes, this show was excellent. She's been enjoying standing ovations in the theaters that she's been at. This is her final performance at Cipriani College this weekend, Saturday at 8:30 p.m. The box office at Cipriani College opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. You can get all the information you want at RSRR Productions theater page on Facebook or Instagram, including all of the outlets. Tickets are $200 general, $250 reserved, and you can get your tickets early. Have a fantastic weekend, people. The weekend has begun. Whatever you do, And what you should do is come to see Nikki tomorrow. Fantastic show. Have a great one.
All right. Thank you so much, Richie Rich. And of course, let's get into our